Welcome to Pokemon Masters Council. I'm your host, Gym Leader Justin, and I got my co-host. Say what's up.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm happy to do another How to Use guide, and we're doing it on a Psychic type. So
yeah, buddy. Zero's the resident
sounds.
Psychic type. I'm the Grass Gym Leader. He's the Psychic Gym Leader. We are the PMC. We want to appreciate everybody reaching out to us, leaving some comments, letting us know what they like about the channel so far in this time of growth here in Generation 9. Hope you guys have been enjoying your Scarlet and Violet journeys with us. Keep leaving those likes, comments, subscribe down below if you see that big red button, and don't forget to hit the bell to stay notified for all of our How to Use guides in the future. Zero, like you said, today we're talking about a Psychic type. We're talking about a old staple way back in Gen 2. We're finally getting an evolution for Girafarig. The Farigiraf. They like flipping these words around on us. But we got Jeffrey the Giraffe. What do you think?
it's been a long time coming for Girafarig. I think it's nice to see, like, even the Dunsparce, it's nice to see that Pokemon finally get some love and some attention.
Yeah.
But for Farigiraf, I think they did a really good job here. I know that you're really high on the design.
Yep.
I am as well. I do think it's a great design. I love the abilities, which we'll get into.
I love how big he is. I love the hoodie. I love
huge. It. Yeah, he's intimidating. The stats are pretty good.
I've seen a giraffe in real life. Okay, like those things are massive. That the Girafarig is like a little tiny pony.
Yeah. The move pool's great. Yeah, A+ for me, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about these abilities and stats and typing. So it's actually pretty important that we talk about his typing first, Zero.
Yeah, so he is a normal Psychic, and in my time of using Pokemon that are normal Psychic, like Indeedee and now Farigiraf, I actually really like the combination of normal Psychic, because I love having that immunity to Ghost. This doesn't...
And spoiler alert, the close tie or second place, they're fighting for my first place heart here for favorite Psychic type right now in Weirdeer and Farigiraf, and Weirdeer's coming in the home update. He's also normal Psychic, so it's pretty legit defensive typing.
I think it's really beneficial because you're becoming neutral to fighting. I don't think that's important. I think what's more important is that you are gaining an immunity in the long run
to Ghost.
That's a strong offensive type. So in the long run, it's more worth it to be normal.
And
Psychic.
Randy's, it has to be said, you find Randy's even in high ladder play. Sometimes maybe somebody's just too tired. People will be clicking that shadow ball on you, and it's just immune. You're like, oh, free turn, we take those. Stuff happens, man. So
I was using Indeedee back in the meta that had the Flutter Mane, and more than once tried to click Shadow Ball on me. So that stuff's important. Those free turns, what we say is we take those.
We take those. So the abilities, there's 3 here. They're actually all really good, but unfortunately, they're outclassed by one of the brothers.
Yeah.
One of the 3 is exceptionally S+. So Zero, tell us about Armor Tail.
Armor Tail. So this is a pretty similar ability to Queenly Majesty. This one protects yourself in a way where... So let's talk about like Psychic Terrain as well. Psychic Terrain protects Pokemon touching the ground from being affected by priority moves of the opposing team. This one...
But, yeah. So but that affects you, like you said, it's just blanket statement, everyone. So you can't do it to them, and they can't do it to you.
Yes, now this is where Armor Tail comes in. You can still Prankster Taunt your enemy Grafaiai or the enemy Dragapult.
Yes.
And they can't Prankster Taunt you in return.
Armor Tail is like a field-wide thing just for your side. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really strong.
And... with Sap Sipper's good, but it's only 90 base attack, and Cudchew's good, but it's not worth it when you have to trade off the fact that you don't have Armor Tail.
I think Cudchew has play in singles, and it doesn't have play in doubles. Sap Sipper is a good ability.
Kudchu is worth mentioning. Like, basically, it means that you get 2 berries for the price of 1. Next turn, you'll regain the berry once. It's like 1 free recycle.
And then Sap Sipper is a good ability in its own right. However, there's just better Sap Sipper users. Correct. One of them being Goodra.
Yeah, baby. Go check out that link in the description. You can check out that battle video of us using that in the grass terrain.
Yeah.
So let's talk about these stats. 90 attack, 70 for both defenses. Oh man, 60 speed. So why am I sad about that, Zero? It's because Girafarig was 90. So they had the potential to just make this thing really fast, or just 100, or just base 90 still. But they went down with it. So now he's base 60. So you're right in that middle, right in that what we call that standard tank speed, right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it definitely does, yeah.
And then 110 special attack. That's respectable.
Yep.
That's like a A+, S-. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, buddy. The giraffe in the room, as it were, I guess. 120 HP is through the roof good.
Yes, absolutely. This really allows you to go whatever sort of defensive build that you want to go.
This is what makes him tanky.
Yeah, they gifted us with equal defenses with the 70 special and regular defense. So the customability is pretty through the roof here.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of these sets, because he's actually been popping off on VGC in terms of the usage. He's at like 10 or 11% usage. It's pretty insane. So some of the sets that you'll likely see, this first one up here, Zero, we have the sort of the setup sweeper. But, you know, and there's a couple ways you could run this in terms of EV spread. You can run it sort of bulky, like this one is here. We have bold, 252 HP, some defense investment, defensive nature, a little bit of special attack. So you're just bulky because we're trying to run the Calm Mind.
Yeah, I really like the bulky builds on this Pokemon.
Yeah. So I'm trying to lean into that. So physical defense with Calm Mind, we've seen it before. This is nothing new. But what this Pokemon does have, you can run Psychic, you can run the move Twin Beam, which we'll talk about. But the big thing right here is that he gets Hyper Voice. Stab Hyper Voice is actually really, really good. You want to talk about that, Zero?
Yeah, so Hyper Voice, the beautiful thing about having this on Farigiraf is it's a stab move for this Pokemon. It goes through substitutes, so you can deal damage through substitutes. That's great in singles. Especially, but also good in doubles.
It's a special thing just for Hyper Voice because it's like this loud noise boom burst of a scream. Yep. Farigiraf just comes up and
yeah, and then one of the really cool things about Hyper Voice I'm going to shout out here really quick is you could put Throat Spray on this Pokemon.
Oh yeah, baby!
Once you use a voice-like move,
I feel like there's a battle video on a channel near you that's featured that recently.
There is, but that is a tech you can use as well. So you can go bulky, and then you can use the Throat Spray with Hyper Voice. Yeah. You get stab damage, and then you're getting a +1 in your special attack.
So you could go the Calm Mind with Throat Spray. So now you're +1 Spec D, +1 from the special attack there, and then Throat Spray +2 special attack. So you get +2. So you're basically a Nasty Plot and Assault Vest in one. Like, it's just a great build.
Yeah.
And then Terra Grass here for Energy Ball is a great shout. You could also just do any other Terra that you think would be a good defensive slot in for your team. If you're running the Nasty Plot, again, if you are running just max HP, max special attack, the Nasty Plot's a really good shout. And you could run that one for the Calm Mind too, just really powerful because his Energy Ball, if you're Terra Grass and max special attack, it's 98% to a max HP Dondozo. So if they're not max health, you're going to one-shot them every time by Terra Grass. So it's pretty legit there. That means you're going to be able to take out strong things in the meta like Palafin. Very, very respectable water sweeper. You're also going to be able to take out certain weather setters, especially the sand ones. You do really good damage to the Hippo, really good damage to T-Tar, and a special shout, one of the most used Pokemon in the meta right now, Zero, is Garchomp. And you know what we've been seeing a lot, buddy? Terra Ground. So Grass has, yes, this is our time to shine, Zero. We are climbing that ladder. Grass, I think, is like knocking on the door to wanting to be an S tier like offensive type right now for Terras. Defense, because it does so well as a defensive and offensive type.
Yeah, a couple other things to note if you go Terra Grass that helps you in the matchup against Garganackle.
Oh, good shout, man.
It also helps you in the matchup against Rotom because you will resist both of its dual stab moves. So you resist the electric move, you resist the water move, and then you can deal super effective stab grass damage in return.
Shout.
So I like the tech. Also hits T-Tar, for some really, really good stab damage. I like the tech, man. It's a good pick.
So let's talk about some tanky utility that we have here. Let's talk about the next set. We got dual screens, Light Clay, nothing we haven't seen before. There's a couple options, though. Obviously, going to be Armor Tail. Again, you can flavor it how you want here. I have it as bold or relaxed with some physical defense investment and a little bit of special defense, but you could flip it around and like Zero said at the beginning, you can kind of play with your defense investment however you see fit. So don't necessarily take that EV spread as what you need. The main thing is max HP. Yeah. You do 252 max HP and then play with anything else. Yes. Light Clay is great. You can run Citrus if you want because he's a great tank, so you can eat that hit and then heal right back up, and it's really hard to get through him again. But Light Screen and Reflect will make Light Clay will make the Light Screen and Reflect last longer. Shadow Ball, Hyper Voice, great offensive options in VGC. We love to see screens. Do you see a lot of screens in threes? How's that going? What do you think about that?
Yes. Yeah, actually screens are really strong in threes because you don't have a lot of turns to work with.
Yep.
But using screens gives you turns to work with. Yes, you give one up, but if you're using Light Clay, the return is actually very, very strong. So like Grimmsnarl is still seeing some usage. I have seen screens for Farigiraf. That's something that you convinced me to put on a team when we were testing in 3v3s, and it helped us win some games.
It's really, really strong. The Trick Room option here, he's got Ally Switch. He also gets access to things like Thunder Wave. He's got a lot of really good utility options. He's just a really tanky poke. Can eat a lot of really good hits. And again, with Armor Tail, both in threes and VGC, your boy has been running amok, Zero. And this guy comes in and just says, you don't get to play today. You're just going to bank off the shield. Obviously, we're talking about Dragonite. Normal Terra type with that extreme speed, super powerful. A lot of them are choice banded. So if they bank off the Armor Tail, they have to swap. And that's you tell me how much you like gaining free momentum.
It's very good.
Yeah, Zero. This thing's really, really tanky. So, if Dragonite player is they're usually choice banded, but either if they're not choice banded or maybe if they are predicting it or something like that, you can play around it because we did some calculations, buddy, and oh boy, were we impressed.
Oh, yeah. Rattle those things off.
So, if we are choice banded Dragonite max adamant, then he will do between 50 to 59 with a Dragon Claw. So again, if if they try to go around the Armor Tail, maybe late game if they've already seen it once early game, or maybe if they just know better, you know what I mean? Higher ladder, people just know better, right?
Yeah.
Dragon Claw is only doing 59% max with Adamant Choice Band. So that's pretty tanky with this set, and that's before the Reflect. So if we go down here and click Reflect, now you're doing between 25 and 29% with that Dragon Claw. So again,
big damage. Just kidding.
Imagine we come in on a perspective extreme speed. They bink. They have to switch out. We set up a Reflect. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard to imagine that we have a Reflect set up, even though we are slower than the Dragonite.
Yeah. That's an easy 1v1 there.
Correct. So, once that Reflect is up especially, he just bounces.
Yeah.
So this is a really good check to one of the best mons in the meta. And Priority is just strong in general. So very, very tanky mon, and those screens make you and your whole team very bulky.
I do gotta say, if you can run this VGC, you can't leave home without one of those 2 bottom moves.
Yeah.
Ally Switch has been mega nerfed this game, and it's only accessible to a few Pokemon, and this is one of them.
And it's very powerful.
It's something that you should consider putting on your team if you have slotted in a Farigiraf.
It would be a great combination next to a Goldango. So that way you can eat its ghost hits for him.
Great shout. All right, buddy, let's talk about the last set. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I knew this would get your
offense,
juices
baby.
flowing, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this is actually the set that's been popping off kind of a lot on the ladder. Pikalytics has quite a big usage stats right now of people using Trick Room plus Nasty Plot. So again, results may vary. You can do whatever EV spread you want, as we've said at the start. This is the same thing here, but this is just an example. Max HP, max special attack. We're maxing its 2 best stats. We're just taking advantage of it. You set up a Trick Room. You have that Armor Tail. No fake outs, no taunts, no parting shot, which they've given out a lot now. None of that. We've got the Hyper Voice to spread. We've got Twin Beam or Shadow Ball as options. Trick Room the first turn, Nasty Plot the second, and you just start blowing holes in people's ships. It's so good. You start screaming at them with Hyper Voice. And again, like Zero said, this could also be a throat spray set.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing about this set, this is what I love about this set. It's simple, okay? First of all,
it's
simple.
Very simple.
You just throw on Trick Room, a boost attack, and, your dual stabs, and then you're good to go. The other thing I like about this set is it works in singles or doubles.
Correct. He's a self-operating machine.
With doubles, you're running VGC, you partner it with next to like an Amoonguss, like a Follow Me user. Indeedee would be even better because then you can do the Follow Me and then you can get some terrain boosted Twin Beams. So
yeah.
I love the ease of access to this set, and it's effective and simple.
Terrain boosted Twin Beam is insane. We can break subs. We can break Disguise, which is pretty important.
Yes.
So it's actually really, really legit because that means we could take out a Mimikyu in 1 turn with the right partner setup.
Yep. Then you got the Terra Normal for the super strong Terra boosted Hyper Voices. You got that double dip into the stab and the Terra boost. I love it.
And again, results may vary. You could change up, season to taste. You could change up the options and run a grass move or an electric move for coverage, depending on what your team might need. But just stock standard, this is what we're going with.
Yeah, Shadow Ball is really important because if you just go to dual stab, you're completely walled by steel types. And Shadow Ball just provides ghost coverage for any ghost in the format. Like, Ghost is just good coverage right now.
It's so
singles
good.
And doubles.
And it's actually, his usage stats with Shadow Ball is actually pretty high. He also does get Dazzling Gleam, another good coverage option here, especially doubles. It is a spread move. Fairy's a great coverage move. We want to shout out that you could run either Modest or Quiet. Quiet is obviously better for a Trick Room. You could then run 0 speed IV to be as slow as possible. Therefore, in Trick Room, be as fast as possible. At that base 60, you can start outspeeding quite a few things in Trick Room if you invest. And then if you want to run middle of the pack, you can run Modest. So that way, you know what I mean? If your team is running Tailwind, you're just neutral speed, you're actually benefiting, or Trick Room, then you benefit, and we've done that before, which we've showed off on the channel, where we've had pokes that can run in both speeds on the same team, haven't we, bro?
Yes, absolutely.
It just makes it where he is the Trick Room setter in that do we turn on the Trick Room light switch on or off kind of scenario. It's more utility, but it's there if you need it, because you could just potentially normal speed outspeed whatever they have and just nasty plot in their face and start screaming. Okay, so this big giraffe, what do you think, Zero? Is he tickling your fancy? I know he's a psychic type. I know you're already biased. You like him just based off that. But what do you think about all this competitive set, all this competitive Pokemon talk? You think there's a place in your heart for this guy?
Yeah, I think this is a really good Pokemon, and I really like the ceiling of this Pokemon. Like, I feel like we haven't even tapped into the best Farigiraf sets. I think there's room for this Pokemon to grow in the formats. I think it's gonna get better before it gets worse. So, I definitely keep your eye out for this Pokemon.
What's your grade?
I have an answer for it. My grade, A plus.
A plus. Yeah, that's what I was gonna give it. I said A plus. There we go, buddy. Wavelength. Let's do it. All right, let's get out of here. Farigiraf.
Yeah, buddy. Let's get out of here, man. Let's go play some Mons.
All right, until next time. I've been Gym Leader Justin.
And I'm Zero.
Council's adjourned.